In a catchweight fight at UFC Fight Night, you got two good fighters in Ode Osbourne, 11-5, taking on Charles Johnson, who comes in at 13-3. And what I like about this is going to be a stand-up striking affair. We could get some takedowns from Ode Osbourne, but for the most part, both of these guys want to stay on the feet and are very active. Now, Charles Johnson is 2 inches taller at 5'9", but he's given up 3 inches in reach to Ode Osbourne, 73-70. Ode Osbourne is a southpaw. Charles Johnson is a switch stance fighter. So you can see the dynamics here where we got one left-handed fighter and another fighter that can switch back and forth. So it'll be interesting to watch what Charles Johnson does here. If he stands right-handed or left-handed, will utilize leg kicks, things of that nature. Now, when I talk about being active, both guys are well over 4 significant strikes per minute. You got 4.8 for Ode Osbourne, 4.7 for Charles Johnson, nearly even. Takedown game is very minimal. Ode Osbourne gets like a takedown every 3 rounds. Charles Johnson, really none to speak of. Now, what's concerning for me for Ode Osbourne is he's tricky because he wins, right? Beating Zaruk Adashev by KO, Jerome Rivera KO, right? He's won 3 of his last 6, but that also means he's lost 3. And all 3 were losses by finish to Brian Kelleher, Manel Kape, and Tyson Nam. So that's concerning when you're losing those fights all by finish. Now, on the flip side, Charles Johnson, again, 13-3. He's come off the win over Jimmy Flick and Zhalgas Zhumagulov. You got the KO win against Jimmy Flick. His last loss is against Muhammad Makayev by decision. And the crazy thing there is that he gave up 12 takedowns in that fight. So he is susceptible to the takedowns. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But this one's pretty simple to me. I mean, it's close in the odds. But I like Charles Johnson to win this fight. The numbers are basically even. And then at that point, you start looking at matchups, and which really becomes a deciding factor. And the matchups for Charles Johnson have been better. He's not losing by finish. Even after getting taken down 12 times by Muhammad Makayev, he still managed to get to a decision and limited Makayev to 12 significant strikes on those 12 takedowns. So I think Charles Johnson has a really good chance and possibility to win this fight. So I like him, and I'm predicting him to win, in my opinion, to move to 14-3, likely on significant strikes and by decision here in a catchweight fight at UFC Fight Night.